In a quiet seaside town in southern Italy lived a young woman named Sophia. Every morning she worked in her family's bakery, kneading dough while the scent of fresh bread and sweet pastries filled the air. To outsiders, her life looked warm and peaceful. The blue horizon outside her window, friendly neighbors who greeted her with smiles, and the soft rhythm of the sea. But inside, Sophia carried an emptiness she couldn't quite explain. For years, she had lived alone, convincing herself that routine was enough to replace love. One morning, as she sat on the stone pier sipping tea, she noticed a man walking slowly along the beach. His steps matched the calm rhythm of the waves. He looked up, caught her gaze, and smiled. "Buongiorno," he said warmly. "Good morning," Sophia replied, a little surprised. His name was Luca, a fisherman new to the town. His boat was small, but his love for the sea was boundless. They began to talk, first about simple things, then about dreams, childhood memories, and the books they both loved. From that morning on, Luca returned often. Sometimes he brought her coffee. Sometimes she offered him cookies from the bakery. Silence between them was never heavy. It felt natural, like another kind of language. As weeks passed, they grew closer. They walked along the shore at dusk, Luca pointing out constellations above the Amalfi Coast, while Sophia shared stories of her family and the bakery. One evening, as the sky burned orange and pink, Luca's voice grew serious. "I think I'm falling in love with you," he said. Sophia felt her heart skip a beat. She smiled softly. "I think I feel the same." From that night, they were inseparable. It wasn't spoken out loud, but both knew they were in love. Yet life is never without storms. One morning, Luca appeared troubled. "A storm is coming," he told her. "I need to take the boat out early to bring it to safety." Sophia's heart tightened. "Be careful. The sea can be unforgiving." He smiled and kissed her forehead. "Don't worry. I've done this before." That was the last time she saw him. By afternoon, the sky turned black. The wind screamed. The sea roared. She stood at her window for hours, waiting for his boat, but it never returned. The next day, whispers filled the harbor. A fisherman's boat hadn't made it back. The name was Luca's. They found fragments of wood scattered along the rocky coast, but not him. Sophia's world collapsed. She couldn't work. She barely ate. Nights blurred with tears, her heart hollowed by grief. Every evening she walked to the place where they had once sat together, whispering into the wind, "Why did you leave?" Then, one evening, something unexpected happened. By the rocks where they used to sit, she found a small, salt-stained notebook. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Inside was Luca's handwriting. "If something happens to me, don't be sad. Look at the sea and smile. I was doing what I loved. Thank you for the mornings, the laughter, the light you brought into my days. I love you." Sophia clutched the notebook to her chest. Her tears fell, but for the first time she smiled through them. It was as if Luca had left her a piece of his soul to carry on. With time, she returned to the bakery, her hands busy once more. Yet she wanted more, something that connected Luca's memory with the sea. With the help of her neighbors, she opened a small cafe by the shore. She painted the walls soft blue, placed flowers on every table, and left Luca's notebook on a shelf for anyone to read. She called the cafe La Riva Serena, the quiet shore. It became a place where people came not only for bread and coffee, but also for peace. Each sunrise, Sophia opened the door, letting in the golden light and the sound of waves. The sea was still alive, and so was she. Months later, a man named Matteo walked in. His hair carried traces of salt, his face sun-kissed by the wind. He ordered coffee and sat by the window. The next day, he returned, and the day after that. Slowly, he became part of the cafe's rhythm, helping fix small things, sharing books about the sea, and simply listening. He never asked about her past, and she didn't ask about his. One rainy morning, as they washed dishes together, Sophia whispered, "Thank you for being here." Matteo smiled gently. "This place feels like home." Sophia looked out at the gray waves. For the first time in a long time, she felt peace. She understood now. Love doesn't vanish. It transforms. It teaches. It heals. And sometimes it returns in unexpected ways. And so every morning, she still went to the sea with her tea, whispering, "Good morning, Luca." But now she did so with a quiet smile, because love had not ended. It had simply changed its shape, flowing like the waves that never stop coming.